Good afternoon, Simmons College. This is Hope coming to you live with the Afternoon Rush from Simmons the Shark Radio. I am by myself in the studio today, so that's a first. I don't know. I asked a few people to come on, but ultimately I thought I should do a solo show. So I'm going to start with introductions. I'm Hope. I am a student here at Simmons College. I'm a first year. I am in a 3+1 program for political science and public policy, but I am very unsure if I'm going to stay with that major. I've been looking at business management, and I've also dabbled in a bit of teaching. So, next semester I'm probably just gonna lay off the politics, and I'll take classes that are a little different, more so to meet my requirements. So 3 of those classes are going to be 3-hour lectures, so I don't know how that's going to go, but I want to go home. I want Fridays to end at 9:50 they've been ending for me this semester. So, yeah. So, I'll give you a little bit about the class load I'm in. I'm just acting like my own guest today. So I am in Spanish 245, a high-level Spanish. I wish I was in a lower one. I'm also in Intro to American Politics, Intro to Macroeconomics, which I am dying, and I'm in an Explore Simmons course, which every freshman's in, and I'm also in my Boston course, and my Boston course is 19th century writers in Boston, and I have a 5-page analytical essay due for that sometime in the future, and I have been procrastinating on it since it's not due for another 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm absolutely scared to death to write it. So, on that note, I just wanted to mention a few things going on at Simmons College. So, the radio, Simmons the Shark, is putting on a spirit walk on Friday. And it's going to be from 7 until 11, I think. And it's going to be starting in Quadside, which is the Smith Hall basement. It's open to the COF. And there's just going to be some spirit walks going around. I know last year they walked into a tunnel that's underneath North and South Hall, and that's haunted. So, they took out this app. My mom has this app, and it, reads the energy around you, and it tells you, what the ghosts are saying around you. So, last year, they were down there, and the app said, hello, when they said hello. And then it was who are you? And the app said, worker. And then they asked, do you want to tell us anything? And then it said, yes, death. And then the guy asked, okay, do you mean your death or my death? And the app was fallen, gravel. So it was a little creepy because it could have been somebody working on the roof. Who knows? So it's just a fun night. And there's going to be broadcasts all through the night. It should be a lot of fun. Also on Friday, I am the class of 2020 secretary. So me and my class council put together treat bag decorating, which is going on in the Student Activity Center from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So stop by. I was thinking they're little burlap bags, and we bought candy for them. I was thinking of doing decorating or painting the bag in Mod Podge and then dipping it in glitter. I think that sounds like a great idea. Also, tonight I am so scared to death, but the Colleges of the Fenway are putting on a lip sync battle, and I am one of the lucky 10 contestants. I am so nervous. I'm going to be lip syncing to How to Be a Heartbreaker. To be honest, I do not have a dance. I don't have anything. I'm just going to get up there and wing it. I made a few props, so we will see how it goes. Probably not too well. Yeah. So, on that note, I'm going to get into the topic of today, which is, I have my little piece of paper that I use to plan the show. It's not all scripted, but I need talking points at some point. I take notes. I took notes today. So my discussion topic for today is conspiracies with historical backing. So I'm going to give picked 3 conspiracies from this book called The Mammoth Book of Cover-Ups by John E. Lewis. Thank you for the book. So I picked like 3 conspiracies that like definitely most likely happened. So I'm going to share those with you today, and yeah, hopefully give some historical context to that. I'd like to think of myself as a history scholar. I dabbled in some AP US history in my high school years, and I was the president of the history club. So I hope I know some historical stuff, or at least some history. So the first one I'm going to talk about is a Kennedy conspiracy. Not Bobby, not John. No, neither of the big ones, but the third brother, Ted or Edward Kennedy. So basically, this incident is called the Chappaquiddick incident, and Chappaquiddick is this island off of Martha's Vineyard, and it's in Mass. So thought Boston, Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. Why not? So basically, Edward Kennedy, on the night of July 18th, 1969, hosted a house party at Chappaquiddick off of Martha's Vineyard. And he decided to throw this house party. It was 12 people total. It was set up to sort of reward his late brother Bobby's boiler room girls, is what they were called. But they were basically just secretaries and researchers who worked in Bobby Kennedy's office. And yeah, so there were these 6 of these women. And so my roommate's here, if you want to come in. My roommate brought me a cupcake from the Founders Day celebration. Oh my god, you guys are literally the best. Do you want to say hi?
Yeah, sure. Hey, what's up, guys?
This is my roommate, Ridney. Put that mic's on, too, if you want to talk into that.
Oh, there we go.
We're doing a conspiracy show. They brought me cupcakes, which is all good.
This is conspiracy enough. Chocolate cupcakes is conspiracy enough.
I'm down. Are they all for me?
You want to take 2? If you want one, take 2.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It says Playworks on it, so that's cute.
Nice.
Thank you, guys.
Alrighty.
I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thank you. Well, that was cute. I got a cupcake. So, we're not going to eat that in the studio. But, yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. So, back to Chappaquiddick. So, Edward set up this party for the boiler room girls, and there were 6 men that attended. They were all married, so there were definitely some affairs going on, because that's what the Kennedys are known for. And in attendance was the victim of this incident, Mary Jo Kopechina. I have no idea how to say her name, so I'm just gonna call her Mary Jo. Mary Jo was at this party, and she was in this office of somebody who just recently died. It's 1969. And so, and then the guys in attendance were Edward Kennedy and his cousin Joe Garden, and also the Attorney General at the time, Paul Markham. So this is 69 is after both his brothers are dead now. So, and then enter mid-Cold War. So you got some Russians. So you definitely don't want to put a bad face. This is also when Ted was considering running for president. So he was throwing this party to reconcile with these boiler room girls, and he, he wanted something. So it's midnight, and Ted left to drive Mary Jo to the ferry. This is all his account. And he said that he was driving down the road, and instead of taking a left, he took a right, and the car went off a bridge and flipped and sunk. He reported that he had no memory until the morning, and he realized what he'd done. But he was able to get out and swim. He swum to his hotel room and went all the way back to the party to say what happened, and then he went home. Mary Jo died during that time in the car. So, yeah. So, it's a conspiracy because Kennedy was, it's believed Kennedy and his family paid off I can't talk ever. I'm so sorry. It was hypothesized that Kennedy and his family paid off the cops, and he was only given a 2-month suspension sentence. Because he had a charge of neglecting to report an incident, which is something that needs to have a charge, which is the only reason he got one. And yeah, so he was there. It's during the Cold War. He he wanted to run for president, so like he didn't want anybody knowing he was having an affair. But like during that night, there was one cop who was stationed on the island, and he reported seeing a car around 12:40 driving around and like parking in like a hidden area, and a woman was in the car, and the car belonged to Ted. And basically he said it was too late for the ferry, so he had no idea where they were going. You know, it was said when he went up to the car, the driver drove off very quickly and did not want to be seen. So he was trying to hide an affair. He didn't want the election. And Kennedy also claimed he was unfamiliar with the bridge he drove the car off of. But just during that day alone, he had drove over it and around it 5 different times to like get the girl. Like, I don't know, when you're constantly driving up and down one bridge, I'm pretty sure you know the bridge. His cousin also reported that upon Kennedy returning, he like didn't even call the cops. He immediately called his family and was mostly concerned about getting it covered up. Covered up what happened. He didn't want anything to do with Mary Jo. And then it's also reported that he had a lot of offenses on his driving record, but mysteriously the day of the trial and like prior to that, it had all been erased. So there's definitely some foul play in that, and I definitely think the Kennedys are involved. They're very, I think they're very comparable to America's royalty. They have a lot of scandals, and like we were very obsessed with John and Bobby. So, I don't see why not Ted wanted to be involved. His brothers all have these conspiracies against them, and then why not Ted has to go and create his own? So that's always exciting. Yeah, so that's the incident at Chappaquiddick. During the Red Scare, Ted definitely did not want anything bad coming out about him, and this incident actually stopped him from running for the presidency in 1972 and also in 1976, I believe. So, yeah, that quite stinks for him. On that note, ending the Chappaquiddick incident, we're going to move into our first musical break. We're 12 minutes into the show. So, for you, I'm going to play Spencer's Choice of the Week, which is If We Can't Land a Man on the Moon, Surely I Can Win Your Heart. So, I'll just go into playing that. And that was If We Can Land a Man on the Moon, Surely I Can Win Your Heart by Bethula, I think is how you say it. And back on the note of Chappaquiddick, my roommate who brought me the cupcake just sent me a picture of the chocolate cupcakes, which she said was a conspiracy. And one of the things, it had like a little sticky note, or not a sticky note, it was like a toothpick with a note on it in the cupcake. And it says Edward M. Kennedy, Academy for Health Centers, or Academy for Health Careers. So there you go. Ted is everywhere. Ted is everywhere. Yeah, so on that note, we definitely are moving into the next conspiracy theory. So, these aren't really conspiracies. They're just, they are definitely conspiracies because, it's not actually proven that it happened. It's just, high on our alert level. Like I'd say the Kennedy one is definitely alert number 9 because you don't know. Maybe he did forget. Maybe he just forgot he was driving a car with somebody else in it and let them die. Oh, also on that, before I get into the next one, it was also when a diver went down. So, like, no autopsy was ever done on Mary Jo's body. But, like, when a diver went down, she was in a position where she could have been stuck in an air bubble, meaning she died of suffocation rather than drowning, and that could have sustained her for 2 hours for Kennedy to call somebody. He wouldn't have been in trouble if he just called somebody. Come on, Ted, get it together. I'm actually not sure if Edward Kennedy is still alive. I don't think he is. I think he died like a few years back. I remember like reading something about him dying and it being like the last Kennedy brother. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There's a new book out about Rosie Kennedy, who was the daughter who had a lobotomy. So I think that'd be an interesting read. I'm sidetracking. I just love to talk. Okay, next one we're getting into is called Stargate. And you know, all big political conspiracies end in gate, aka Watergate. It basically just means conspiracy, is what I've been told. It just means conspiracy. And we have a total of 3 connected listeners now. It just moved up from 2. Woohoo. I'm making it big, guys. Oh, also, if you're not already not already liking my Facebook page, go ahead and look up The Afternoon Rush on Facebook and like it. I post things there. And it's pretty great. I like to think it's great. I got quite a few likers. So, on to the next conspiracy theory before I talk your ear off. So Stargate. Okay. So basically it's one of those like psychic operations where they try to like find if people actually have psychic abilities, and you know it took place during this Cold War. So, it's basically like MK Ultra again. I don't know why the Soviets were so obsessed with it. So the US was obsessed with it because the Soviets were obsessed with it. But yeah, so Stargate. It was never actually, I think it's also weird how like all these conspiracies happen and then like after a few number of years, like nobody ever questions it again. Like Stargate or MK Ultra. Like that thing, like they have proof that actually happened. And you know what? We don't even talk about it. We do not talk about it, and it is not common knowledge. So, that's all I have to say about it. I just, why does no one talk about it? Someone please tell me. Alright, so Stargate was a remote viewing program conducted by the CIA from 1972 to about 1986. They actually didn't say, in this mammoth book of cover-ups, didn't say when it actually ended. So, I'm like messing with my levels to see if they are good. I feel like, I don't know, guys. This is a downward spiral. That's a shout out to my friend Addison Mueller at Bryant University. Anyway, so this program was developed in response to the Soviet investigation of psychic phenomenons. So there were lots of Soviets trying to test out if this was a thing. So the US was like, you know what? I bet this is a thing, and we best try to test it out. So it was based at the Stanford Research Institute in Menlo Park, California. And actually the first people they tried to like conduct the experiment on were people from the Church of Scientology. So maybe Scientology is onto something. Maybe they're onto something. They have psychic powers now, and the CIA knows about it. They're hiding something from us, guys. So these first viewers were from the Church of Scientology, and basically they were testing to see if people could basically visualize targets or certain people where they were at any given time and see if they could accurately place them. And it was actually, they found like a few gifted people, air quotes, and it was actually found like 5 to 15% could actually identify somebody in a situation. But like it was all just coincidental. Like they concluded that it was coincidental. So that's a fun part. But the American Institutes for Research confirmed its existence in 1986. Oh, I lost one listener. Oh well. Yeah, but the American Institutes for Research confirmed the existence of this program, and it actually spent $20 million on Stargate to perform this experiment to see if people could target people. So like the president or like director of the Stargate program, which was conducted by the CIA, developed instructions which theoretically allowed anyone to produce an accurate visualization of like what they want. So if right now I want to find where President Obama is, I could visualize it with these instructions. I could not find the instructions online. I am so sorry. I cannot share this knowledge with all of you. Yeah, but like it actually found people. I'm so sorry. My talking is awful. Yeah, but it actually located a kidnapped general in Italy. So, maybe it's real. Maybe it's not. I mean, technically the program is real. And like they did this, but like, is the thing real? Yeah, so the book put it at an alert level 10, which basically means it happened. It happened. Right now I'm looking out the window and I think it's a plane outside, but it's been sitting in the same spot. Oh, it's a helicopter. That's what it is. I got it, guys. I figured it out. All right. So yeah, Stargate, it happened. It was a thing. God knows why. Yeah. So, my two connected listeners on your computers, how's it going? So, next I think I'm going to just head into the next conspiracy. Unless you guys are absolutely tired of me talking, I would text me now if you are. Yeah, I have some friends texting me. I don't know if Addison's listening. I hope he is. I know my dad will be listening either. Oh, I have like a 60-second rant to give you guys. Train tickets are so expensive, and the Amtrak train makes me so upset. So, there are no trains on the weekends for the next few weeks until like Thanksgiving. And it's like, how am I supposed to get home? How? It's basically trapping me here. I mean, it's not a bad place to be trapped. Boston, I get into museums for free. So that's fun. Yeah, I think I'm going to head into another musical break. So, yeah, what will I play up next? The W2 panel has been on that entire time. I hope music has not been playing in the background. I mean, it's all the way down, so probably not. Yeah, so next I'm going to play Shake It Off by the Spinto Band. So this is another Spencer pick, He has great choices. All right, so here we go. And that was Shake It Off by the Spinto Band. That was a song Spencer showed me as well. But that was my pick of the week, I guess. I also have like my lip sync battle song in that playlist, so when that's going to be playing, I'm definitely going to be lip syncing. In the studio we have like this door and we have like an entryway. It's like a foyer and like it's not a big one. It's pretty small. So, if somebody walks in like the real entry door, they are literally right by the studio door. It's like a really small, like, extra room that's really unneeded. But basically, I shut the entrance door, like, just enough, but it's not locked, and I know there's a show after me, and I keep looking in the dark window, and I'm so scared. At one point, there is going to be a face there, and I know I'm going to jump or scream. So, disclosure and event. I can't talk. In advance. Okay, so the last conspiracy I'm going to talk about that happened, but we don't know why it happened, is the case of KAL-007. So I'm going to call it KAL-007. So basically on September 1st in 1983, Korean Airlines Flight 747 set off from Alaska to Seoul. So it was flying over the Pacific Ocean to get to Seoul, and suddenly the pilot went 365 miles, or for my European friends, and 590 kilometers off course into Soviet airspace. So space they know they're not supposed to be in, and it's pretty scary as an ally during the time. So basically this passenger plane is flying into Soviet airspace, and Soviet fighters launched 2 missiles, sending this plane into the Sea of Japan. And the lives lost was over 250. So over 250 lives lost, and yeah, the plane was shot down. That plane was. So during this time, Reagan was in the White House, and he has an infamous I think it's a pretty famous commercial where it's like about this bear, and it says there's a bear in the woods, and that bear is the Soviet Union. And do we want a president who's going to sleep while that bear is getting us, or do we want somebody who's going to take care of that bear? We want somebody that's going to take care of that bear. That's why Ronald Reagan was in office. Yeah, so a lot of people say this one credible source, his name is R.W. Johnson. He's an Oxford professor and a very well-known political historian. So, people tend to believe him. It's not like he's some kook. But he basically has a theory and says the plane was on a CIA mission to fly and trigger the attack so that NATO, basically the US and Japan, could monitor the Soviets' defense tactics and see how they would attack in case we needed to go to war. So that happened, and during this time it was actually like R.W. Johnson uses to like add some weight to his theory, says that like it was the Challenger space shuttle, which is also the one that blew up, had flown over the Sea of Japan 4 times while Cal 007 was in its flight. So yeah, that happened. And then there was also like a bunch of cases, or not a bunch. There was like one prior incident. It was in 1978, and it's when a Korean airliner again strayed and got gunned down in Soviet airspace. So they definitely think it was on a CIA mission, and there's definitely reason for this company to be in with the CIA. It was definitely in a financially low space, and they lived off of government subsidies and government payments. So just adding a little bit more from the U.S. government, why not? And it was also reported that the pilot, right before this flight, said to his wife, "This is the last trip. It's getting too dangerous." So what's he talking about? How many times is he doing this and we're not just hearing about it? You know, I definitely think it's possible that like people, passenger airlines were flying over Soviet airspace to like trigger something, but like they were dodging it, so like we'd never heard about it, and it was just sort of like a test and go sort of thing. So like I don't know why it didn't stop when something happened, but it would make sense if the US was trying to see these Soviet defenses so they would know in advance. Yeah, so those are 3 little cute conspiracy theories for you. The time is now 4:36. You're listening to the Shark Sims College Radio, and this is the Afternoon Rush with Hope. And now we're done talking about conspiracies. And I lost. Oh, nope, we gained it back again. Hello, third viewer again. Yeah. So on with the show. Those are my conspiracies. We talked about Chappaquiddick, Stargate, and Cal 007. So I implore you to go and look into those yourself. And I keep looking at this window in the door, and it's so black, and I'm so scared somebody's face is going to be there. And I know whose face it's going to be, but I am so scared to see that actual face, and I'm not going to be able to express that on air. Yeah. So this week for you, I have a riddle of the week. All right. So this riddle goes: if Mary's daughter is my daughter's mother, what am I to marry? So I'll repeat that for you, and I'll give you the answer at the end of the show if you can think of it, or I can give it to you next week. Text me and ask and tell me which one you'd like, if you'd like the answer at the end of the show or if you'd like it next week. So repeat the riddle again. If Mary's daughter is my daughter's mother, what am I to marry? So, if Mary's daughter is my daughter's mother, what am I to marry? Yeah. So that's a little riddle for you guys. I hope you're able to figure it out. So hopefully you guys are able to figure that out. And I swear to God, if I look at this window one more time, I'm going to scream. Oh, I'm so scared. I don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen. All right. So we're moving on in Today in History. Yeah, so I picked... There's some pretty interesting things going on in these past few days. I picked some... This helicopter's also just, like, flying outside the window. It's, like, probably a mile away. It's just chilling. It's been chilling in the same spot for quite a while. It's for the entire show, basically. So that's cute. Cute. Yeah. So, Today in History. So I'm going to start with what happened yesterday. Yesterday was October 25th. So in 1881, I cannot talk ever, guys. 1881, Pablo Picasso is born. And then the very next day, there's a shootout at the OK Corral in Arizona. So basically, at this corral, it was the warring ground of two cowboy families that were in this area for silver. And they got upset because one family wanted the silver and another one wanted the silver, so they shot each other. And yeah, there was a shootout at this corral. And that happened. And then in 1984, an infant received a baboon heart. And this was pretty remarkable because, so the infant was born without the left side of her heart. So she had only the right side, no arteries on the left, no. She basically had half a heart. So these research doctors begged the mom to try this animal organ transfer on her daughter. And the mom said yes reluctantly, or else the baby would die. It was known like babies who were born with this disease would die within 3 days. And previously to other animal organ transplant, the longest one was like 7 days, so a week with a animal organ. So this infant got a walnut-sized baboon heart transplanted into her body. And people were so excited because she lived and her body, it was theorized that, like, because her body was so young, that, like, it would accept this foreign tissue and would not, and she would live her life as normal. So, that happened. So they transplanted this baboon heart into this baby girl. And she lived for a little while. She lived longer than any other animal transplant person did. She lived a total of 20 days after the transplant. So it was pretty remarkable, but I think we stepped away from animal transplants and more into 3D printing organs. Yeah. So that happened. It was just her body rejected it because it was a foreign tissue. It's not even, it's remotely human, but the body was not going to accept it. And what are you going to do? Take the heart of another baby? No, you're not. Okay, moving on. Okay. Also, in 1917, Brazil declared war on Germany to join World War I with the Allies. And yeah, Brazil was really late to the game. All they really provided were some airmen and an infirmary troop. And they got 3 representatives at the board meeting after the war to decide what's going to happen. So they got to hear Woodrow Wilson's 14 points live. And Portugal was a bit upset and sassy about that because they had 1 representative, Brazil had 3, and Portugal fought most of this war. So they were pretty salty. And Brazil was like on the side of Portugal, and the US did nothing. The US did nothing. Yeah. So then, and then I'm going to go to tomorrow, which is October 27th, and that is Spencer's birthday. So this is a happy early birthday to him. Okay, but otherwise, October 27th, 1775, King George III speaks to Parliament of the American Rebellion. Well, don't you know, George, just a year later, in July, you're going to get not even, 6 months, basically. George, you're going to get a letter saying, we ain't with you no more. We ain't with you. So, okay, she's here. The face is here, and I'm not scared anymore. There's light in the way. Okay, so I'm not scared anymore. That's good. Hopefully they don't stick their face right up against the window. Okay, anyway. Yeah, but King George speaks to Parliament about this rebellion that's been going on, some Boston Tea Party stuff, Boston caused a lot of trouble for King George. Lots of trouble. Lots and lots of trouble. Yeah. So, on that note, I'm going to go into my next musical break, and I'll see what I'm going to play for this one. I come in with, a list of, 5 songs to pick from, so, it's always good. All right. I'm going to play my lip sync song. So this is How to Be a Heartbreaker by Marina and the Diamonds. And they also shut the door just right now, so it's really dark. And I'm going to see a face pressed up against the window, and I am scared to death. Okay, they're in the room next to me. I don't know who they are, but I waved. Okay, it's fine. It's Gucci. All right. So yeah, so we're going to play How to Be a Heartbreaker by Marina and the Diamonds. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right, and that was How to Be a Heartbreaker by Marina and the Diamonds. And that is what I'm going to be lip syncing tonight in Mass Arts Tower Auditorium, and I am so nervous. I'm 1 of 10. I filled out a survey way too quickly, but I'm up to win $100. So, it's always something here at Simmons College. Always something. A lot of people say I'm pretty involved, I'm like on Dance Marathon, which is a charity that goes to benefit Boston Children's Hospital. I am the finance and sponsorship board. I'm on my class council. I'm secretary, so I do a lot of emailing, dreams. And yeah, I do a lot of things around the COF. I tend to know usually what's going on. My friends usually applaud me for that. So, it's quite a compliment for me because, oh, now there's 2 helicopters. Update on the helicopters. There's now 2. They're changing spots, so I wonder what they're looking for. I'm a little bit concerned. Anyway, I'm involved. I do stuff. All right. So now my next topic is, it's National what day? National what day? Okay, so today is National Pumpkin Day. Thank you. We had an event here at the college. I believe it was last week. It was decorating pumpkins. So, I painted a pumpkin. I put some Mod Podge around the stem and a Mod Podge on the bottom, and I dipped it in some silver glitter. And then I painted a face on her and gave her rosy cheeks. Her name is Rosie. She is sitting on my desk. And also today, there's always stuff going in the Student Activity Center. Today there was pot painting, so little flower pots. It was done by the Lions Club here at Simmons. My friend Danny, the GM of the radio station, is the president of that club. So they put on the event pot making. There were seeds and dirt, and I painted a lovely pot. There were also, at the same time, there were mocktails going on. I was just all about it. There seems to always be something going on I never know about. But you bet your buttons that I am trying to get every single penny out of this college that I'm paying. So you bet I'm going to all these free events. I will be missing class for 5 minutes. I'll probably leave to go to the bathroom and just be like, I'll be right back. Go down to the Student Activity Center and get something. So yeah, I will be part of the class that makes that happen. So on Friday we're doing treat bag decorating, and I'm very excited because more free stuff. And there's candy. Candy's always nice. It's Halloween, Halloween's coming up. I don't know what I'm doing yet. There's some stuff going on at Harvard. There's some stuff going on at MIT. Who knows what I'm going to do? I will probably most likely sit at home and play Sims. But you bet one thing I'm definitely doing is going to Chipotle to get a $3 burrito. Because if you go in costume, you get a $3 burrito. So that is what I am looking forward to. So much looking forward to. Yeah. So, okay. National what day? National Pumpkin Day. Get yourself a pumpkin. Carve it. Paint it. Do whatever you want. But get yourself a pumpkin. It's also National Mincemeat Day and National Deployed Day. So, I come from a military family. So, National Deployed Day definitely means I definitely respect everyone that's gone to war or has been deployed from the United States to help us other places in the world. I definitely respect all those people. And in regards to that, tomorrow is actually National Navy Day. And you bet I am a proud Navy daughter. My dad is a Master Chief in the United States Navy. And I am so proud of him. And he is just a great role model to look up to. My mom also works for the Navy, but my dad's been in the Navy since I was very little. My mom's in the business office. Yeah, but I am very proud of my dad, and I'll probably wear navy blue tomorrow for him. So there you go. And then yesterday was also National Greasy Food Day. So why didn't I know about this? Why were there no free burgers? Good question, Hope. Good question. Always asking them smart questions. Yeah, so it was also National Chucky the Notorious Killer Doll Day. I don't know why that ever needs a day. Why that ever needs a day. I have never actually seen the full movie Chucky because I think it's so creepy. There was one book when I was little. It was called Dollhouse, where all the dolls came alive. It's not supposed to be a creepy thing, but I was so creeped out by it. Yeah, probably a really bad experience for me. Yeah. So that was a day. I remember in 6th grade, I watched a part of The Bride of Chucky. And I just remember there was a lot of gore, and I am not a fan of it. I cannot watch Saw for the life of me. I'm just not into it. I don't know why people are into it. I don't like it. I like being psychologically scared, but not necessarily actually scared. Gore is not scary. What's scary is being it in your your mind. You know, there was also this clown thing going around, like all these American clowns. Oh, no more helicopters. Oh, never mind. It's gotten closer. It's gotten closer, guys. Update. The helicopter is like right above the school. I don't really know what it's looking for or what it's doing. Hopefully nothing bad. Maybe I'll look into it. Helicopters around Boston. Yeah. So National Navy Day tomorrow. I hope everyone will celebrate. And then I also want to give a book of the week. So I was totally into the alumni book by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. It's basically like a science fiction journal with all these events that are going on. It's basically like a court case is happening because Baytech, this industry that like mined some mineral, came and destroyed a colony of another company called Carenza and basically blew up this planet. And some people escaped, and it basically follows them through them getting to another jump station, and it's just very space and fantastical. And I bought the second book this weekend called Jamina, and it's obviously by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff again. And I've been reading it nonstop. I'm so into it. It's not the same characters, but I definitely think it's going to be like the Lunar Chronicle series where they all tie in at some point in the book. I'm so excited, though. So excited. I love this book. I don't know why I think it's... no, I know why it's so good. Because it feels real, and it's, like, very futuristic, spacey. It's just really cute. It's not cute, but it's so cool. It is so cool. I definitely recommend the Illuminae series. Definitely check it out. I listened to the first one on audiobook when I would drive up to Maine. And, yeah, I definitely think the audiobook's great for it. I think it's just a fantastic thing. Yeah. So that's all I have to say for this week. I'm my own guest star this week. You were listening to The Afternoon Rush with Hope at the Shark, Simmons College Radio in downtown Boston, right near Fenway. And this is my goodbye and send off. If you haven't already, like the page on Facebook. I post things there. I'm going to be posting the link for YouTube there. Yeah. And then we also have a Twitter and an Instagram. I don't really post on Instagram, but I have a Twitter. It's HL Afternoon Rush. And then on Facebook, just look up The Afternoon Rush and you'll find it. It's a picture of like a red circle and then some sharks around it. My friend Hooli is making me a new logo, so hopefully that's out soon, but I don't know. I told her no deadline, because, you know, who wants to rush a college student? But yeah, so that was that this week. I'm Hope, not lazy, just energy efficient Lennox, and thank you for listening to The Afternoon Rush. I'm going to go and put some music on for you guys while I send myself this audio file. So coming up for you guys is Tovlo Habits.